Item Number SCP-031 Object Class Euclid Special Containment Procedures SCP-031 is currently contained in the Ryugyong Hotel, located in the city of Pyongyang, Democratic People's Republic of Korea, otherwise known as North Korea. As the nation it is located in is currently governed by an authoritarian regime with near complete control of state and national media, the possibility of information regarding SCP-031 being released to the world at large is minimal, as said regiment is also cooperating with the Foundation in order to maintain physical security of the site. Foundation personnel are instructed to comply with their directives as long as they do not interfere with larger Foundation aims. The structure of the Ryugyong Hotel serves to contain SCP-031 within the central spire. 3 secondary spires, located at 120-degree intervals from the central pyramid, house Type 9 Heaven's Blade restriction systems. Note: a locally manufactured version of the white psionic field disruptor, calibrated to focus a disrupted energy field towards the central spire. Although unable to prevent physical escape of SCP-031, the system serves to prevent SCP-031's psychic energies from escaping the structure and affecting off-site personnel. Reclamation efforts of the hotel are currently underway, with local government forces utilizing hazmat-suited personnel armed with flame projectors and chemical sprayers to decontaminate areas affected by SCP-031. However, due to the slow pace of progress in SCP-031's defensive capabilities, reclamation efforts are drastically behind schedule. Note: initial estimates were that SCP-031's central core would be reclaimed by 1989, but as of 2021, efforts are still ongoing. Personnel who become affected by SCP-031's psychic abilities are to be terminated immediately to prevent their biomatter from becoming incorporated into its physical matrix. Description: SCP-031 is an amorphous organism with a mass of over 7,500 kilograms that has infiltrated the ductwork and maintenance infrastructure of the building. Tendrils emerging from SCP-031's central mass have spread through the hotel's plumbing and ductwork to all 105 floors of the building. At its peak, over 75% of the hotel's 3,000 rooms were contaminated by SCP-031. Reclamation efforts have destroyed 3% of the initial infestation, but over 3 rooms remain affected by SCP-031. SCP-031 tendrils terminate in a pod-like structure, sporocarp, consisting of an ovoid structure approximately 2 meters in length, with multiple cilia-like structures branching off of the main body. On some occasions, subjects in the presence of an SCP-031 sporocarp will instead perceive it as an individual the subject had a close emotional connection to in the past. The SCP-031 sporocarp will metamorphosize into a shape of the person perceived, and attempt to persuade the subject to remain with them for an extended period of time. The SCP-031 sporocarp will next attempt to make physical contact with the targeted individual with the cilia-like structures. Digestive juices will be injected into the subject's body, and their flesh will be consumed and incorporated into SCP-031's body mass. In the meantime, a secondary flagellum will engulf the subject's cranium and brain, replacing the blood vessels with its own tendrils, which will maintain the life support of the affected brain by some yet undiscovered means. The tendrils will decerebrate the subject and transport the subject's cranium back through the building's ductwork, where it is incorporated into the central mass. Footage taken through surveillance drones indicate that there are currently beep crania in the network of tendrils attached to SCP-031 central mass. They are indications the brains contained within are still alive and may be conscious. History: SCP-031 was recovered on October 22nd, 1948, following contradictory police records taken after a riot in the city of Redacted, where several civilians have gathered around a refugee camp professing love and devotion to a cult-like leader whom they referred to as the Beloved. Once initial contact and assessment had been made, the civilians were pacified through widespread distribution of inhaled tranquilizers and aerosolized amnestics. MTF Psi-7 Home Improvement was able to recover SCP-031 central mass and move it into containment. In its initial form, SCP-031 consisted of a single amorphous entity, approximately 75 kilograms in vaguely humanoid shape. It had not yet manifested the ability to consume and incorporate human biomatter into itself, or any mind-affecting properties aside from inspiring unusual feelings of love and devotion. As of November 16th, 1948, SCP-031 had been classified as safe and was in containment at Site Beep. Unfortunately, the Korean conflict, which began on June 25th, 1950, resulted in the destruction of the Foundation containment site at Pyongyang and the loss of all anomalies contained within. By the end of the conflict in 1953, all other anomalies were accounted for, either recovered or confirmed destroyed, aside from SCP-031, which was presumed lost and in the wild. Foundation assets first became aware of the re-emergence of SCP-031 in 1992, when the construction of the Ryugyong Hotel in Pyongyang suddenly halted. Personnel liaising with the local regime confirmed that an anomalous effect had resulted in the disappearance of numerous workers employed in the construction of the hotel. A Foundation mobile task force was dispatched to investigate. All members of the MTF were subsequently lost in action, and the site was locked down and declared off limits. All work on the Ryugyong Hotel ceased for over 16 years, aside from the installation of the Heaven's Blade restriction systems on the secondary spires. In 2008, increased infiltration of SCP-031 into the building's infrastructure resulted in the possibility of its discovery by outside persons. The local regime immediately ordered that windows be installed on the structure to hide the existence of SCP-031 from others, resulting in the loss of more construction workers. Unfortunately, this was perceived as the resumption of construction on the building, resulting in expectations that the structure would actually be completed and open to the public in the future. Reclamation efforts commenced within the year, utilizing flame and solvent projecting equipment to destroy SCP-031 tendrils and sporocarps, with each team accompanied by a political officer assigned to terminate any personnel who became assimilated into SCP-031. As of this current date, February 27th, 2021, reclamation efforts are still underway. Foundation personnel are continuing to liaise with the local regime and monitor their progress, which is slow but steady. Appendix 1. Excerpts from RAISA email server. From RAISA Associate Director Eleanor Jones. To Records Office 2201. Subject: Incomplete Special Containment Procedures File for SCP-031. Team, I have an issue that needs immediate clarification. I have the Ryugyong Hotel as the location of a mine affecting steel from the Proto-Afro-Asiatic culture group. As you can see, that's the same location as this brain-stealing flesh network. Are these two objects related at all? Is this hotel some kind of DPRK containment facility? If so, we should put that into the object's Special Containment Procedure file. Please reply at your earliest convenience. From Records Office, 2201. To RAISA Associate Director Eleanor Jones. Regarding incomplete special containment procedure files for SCP-031. Eleanor, as far as my team can figure, there doesn't appear to be a link between the two objects. In fact, I'm getting conflicting reports from the containment teams regarding whether or not either of these objects actually exist. The 1427 team is insisting the hotel is the site for the steal, and there's no brain-eating flesh network there. And the DBRK government is part of the containment procedures. Then I have the team for SCP-031 insisting that the DBRK government's involvement is purely politically motivated, as in, we don't want to get involved so long as they're taking care of it, and there's no such thing as a mind-affecting steal located within the building. Which is concerning, given that we've got two mind-affecting anomalies within the same space, the two teams with two separate stories here. Possible Eastern Summer Base situation. Gwen. From RAISA Associate Director Eleanor Jones. To Records Office 2201. Regarding SCP-031 and SCP-1427 records conflict. Was incomplete special containment procedures file for SCP-031. Okay, someone needs to get to the bottom of this. We can't have a useful database with such blatantly contradictory information. Make it your first priority to resolve this. From Records Office 2201 to RAISA Associate Director Eleanor Jones. Regarding SCP-031 and SCP-1427 records conflict. Was incomplete special containment procedures file for SCP-031. Eleanor will do. Entered into the tracker as 0000031F99ZX, with assisted ticket entered as 0011427F99ZX. Gwen. From RAISA Associate Director Eleanor Jones to Records Office 2201. Regarding SCP-031 and SCP-1427 records conflict. Was incomplete special containment procedures file for SCP-031. Team, can I get an update on this issue? From Records Office 2201 to RAISA Associate Director Eleanor Jones. Regarding SCP-031 and SCP-1427 records conflict. Was incomplete special containment procedures file for SCP-031. Eleanor, my apologies. I guess I wasn't clear that further updates would be sent out through the tracker system. We're gathering information and assessing the situation. We'll keep you informed. Gwen. From RAISA Associate Director Eleanor Jones to Records Office 2201. Regarding SCP-031 and SCP-1427 records conflict. Was incomplete special containment procedures file for SCP-031. Team, it's been 3 days. Can I at least get the requested update, or at least a deadline by which we'll have this issue resolved? From Records Office 2201 to RAISA Associate Director Eleanor Jones. Regarding SCP-031 and SCP-1427 records conflict. Was incomplete special containment procedures file for SCP-031. Eleanor, as I stated in Tracker Update 22 on this ticket, we've found that the problem is more complicated than we expected, requiring us to physically send a person from HQ over to Pyongyang to investigate. It's taking us some time to get through the North Korean red tape. Totalitarian government, am I right? And to get the paperwork done to reassign Jenny's responsibilities while she's gone. Gwen. From RAISA Associate Director Eleanor Jones to Records Office 2201. Regarding what's the holdup? Was SCP-031 and SCP-1427 records conflict. was incomplete special containment procedures file for SCP-031. Team, it's been 2 weeks. Why has there been no update on this issue? This is a highly time-sensitive issue, and your lack of progress is extremely disappointing. We need to get this resolved before Maria has to step in. From Records Office, 2201. To RAISA Associate Director Eleanor Jones. Regarding what's the holdup, was SCP-031 and SCP-1427 records conflict, was incomplete special containment procedures file for SCP-031. Eleanor, I can assure you that, per your instructions, resolving this issue has been our top priority. We have been cross-referencing between the documentation, and the only discrepancy appears to be the fact that there are discrepancies, as in all of the documentation for one project is internally consistent, and all of the documentation of the second project is internally consistent. It's only when you put them together that things don't make sense. We tried talking to the project leads of both teams, but neither of them seems to know the other exists. We tried having them look up the other team's SCP file on the system. They can read it just fine, but it doesn't make sense to them. SCP-031 team has no record of 1427 on site, and vice versa. We thought there might be some kind of this time-space parallel dimensions thing going on. So we had a member of each team try to meet up at the same place at the Ryugyong Hotel, outside the front entrance. They were not able to find each other, despite confirming that they were both in the same place at the same time, photographs with timestamps attached. We then had the two team members try to meet up at a location outside the hotel. They were able to meet up just fine. When they tried to return to the hotel together, they lost track of each other and ended up not being able to find each other. We tried sending Jenny over to Pyongyang to investigate. That was a pain in the ass, given visa restrictions into North Korea. They weren't able to meet with both teams simultaneously, but they were able to meet each team one-on-one. Both teams gave them a tour of their containment facility, and everything seemed to be in order. The one team showed them the reclaimed rooms and the cleanup teams, while 1427 showed them the location of the steel. Neither team was able to allow direct contact with the anomaly because of the containment procedures, but they were able to confirm its existence through remote cameras. The DPRK team for 31 had no idea about the existence of any DPRK assets being used to contain 1427 and vice versa. That might not be too surprising given information controls in that country. To make things even worse, Jenny got a call from Yunmi at the KR branch asking what the hell a RAISA staff member is doing in the city. She contacted him, and as far as KR is concerned, they do not and have not have any asset in the Ryugyong Hotel. Jenny went so far as to ask Yunmi to take her to the hotel and show her around a bit, and when she got there, she couldn't find any trace of SCP-031, 1427, or the teams involved with either. So, in conclusion, after 3 weeks of hard work, we can conclude from the evidence one of the following must be true. 1. SCP-031 exists, and SCP-1427 does not. 2. SCP-1427 exists, and SCP-031 does not. 3. SCP-1427 and SCP-031 exist, and there is an anomaly at the Ryugyong Hotel preventing either team from knowing about the other or proving the other exists. 4. Neither SCP-031 or SCP-1427 exist, and there is an anomaly at the Ryugyong Hotel creating the impression that it exists in the RAISA Central staff, but the KR branch staff are not affected. 5. One or both of SCP-031 and SCP-1427 may or may not exist, and the KR branch are under a mind-affecting compulsion that they do not, or were under a compulsion that it does. 6. All or none or some of the above may be true simultaneously due to multi-worlds theory, or timing-line trickery crap. And if you have any idea on what we can frickin' do to frickin' fix that crap I've got. Gwen. From RAISA Associate Director Eleanor Jones 2. Records Office 2201. Subject: New Directives. Hello, team. 1. Effective immediately. Guinevere Kirkpatrick have been relieved of her duties as a project lead at Records Office 2201. All Records Office 2201 staff are to make the resolution of tickets 000031F99ZX and 0011427F99ZX their top priority. No other work on any other project is to continue until this issue is resolved. I want hourly reports until this matter is concluded. From Director Maria Jones, Record Keeping and Information Security Administration, to all RAISA Associate Directors. Subject: Beep. Around farewell and other updates. Good afternoon, RAISA staff. Thank you again for all your hard work. Today's email will be a short one. 1. The 3.14 update of Scuttle has been updated to Snapshot 2207D. Please remind your team leads to log into the test instance and confirm proper functionality. Send any bug reports to the Scuttle team as soon as possible. You know that this involves taking time out of your day for additional tasks, but the sooner we complete this wide-scale stress test, the sooner we can roll out the new version and put some fears to rest. 2. I am saddened to announce that Eleanor has chosen to retire due to health concerns. This announcement came as a surprise to me as well. Due to the sudden nature of her health crisis, she was unable to say goodbye to us before being transferred to Beep Hospital, where I understand she is convalescing nicely. Please expect a follow-up email with a link to a crowdfunding page for a going-away gift for her, as well as an address where you can send cards, gifts, and other well wishes, until we can appoint a new AD to take over her projects. We will temporarily be splitting her teams up between several different existing ADs. Expect an announcement of the new table of organization by noon, Greenwich Mean Time. 3. Please take a moment during your next weekly team meeting to go over Section 22B, reporting inconsistencies in documentation of your handbook with your staff, and make sure that everyone knows the proper procedures follow if and when you end up with an information anomaly. Maria.